Hey, BookTube, this is Friday Reads.
I got my ticket for the long way round.
This weekend, I have somehow gotten myself started on, I don't know, way too many things to read in the course of a weekend or even, a week. But let me tell you what those things are. I started Underworld by Meg Cabot. This is book 2 in the Abandon series, and I read Abandon a while ago, or I listened to it. And I was in between books, and I thought, I had it sitting there, and I thought I knew I wanted to get to it. So I'm on part 2 of 9, and I think I'll probably even finish this yet this evening because I have a project that I've got to finish, and so, it's easy to listen to, so I'll probably do that. I'm going to follow that up on audio with Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken. This is book 2 in the Darkest Minds series, and the reason I'm going to reread or re-listen to this is because in the Afterlight, which is the 3rd book in the series, I have this in print. It comes out on audio on October the 28th, and I think actually officially the release date is October the 28th. I just happened to be able to get it at Books A Million early. Well, who knew why? I don't know. They had it on the shelf and they sold it to me. So I will not probably pick this up in print. I don't know. I like to wait for the audio, but if I listen to this over the weekend, then it's probably going to take me about as much time as it will take before this comes out on audio. I don't know. I may start it in print just because I can't wait. And then lastly on audio on my little shuffle, I am still listening to The Young World by Weitz. I only listen to that when I get in the pool. And, I think I don't like that book very much. I don't know. I can't even nail down and tell you exactly what it is that I don't like. I think it's that the idea has been done. It's teenagers in a post-apocalyptic world trying to save it. And it's Lord of the Flies a little bit. It all happens in New York City. It has a very, multicultural cast, which I love. But it's teenagers talking like teenagers do and using a lot of cultural references from right now. I just don't care. I don't even like these characters very much, but there's something about this book that makes me not DNF it. I can't even tell you what that is, but yeah. Anyway, so let's move on to print. In print, I started The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. Now, please, if you know me and you know the sorts of things that I read and you are my friend, do not keel over dead of shock that I'm reading something that's literary fiction. My daughter had this on her shelf. She had a bunch of books like in this genre on her shelf when I visited her recently. And I couldn't believe it. I thought, when did you start reading this stuff? And she said, well, I had a class of bestsellers and, I don't know. She just kind of looked at me. So we started talking books, and I felt like she was smarter than me because, she's reading this kind of stuff. So anyway, not that it makes you stupid to read YA, but this is definitely more conversational. I see why people like this book. And I don't know. So far, one of the Virgin Suicides has happened. I'm only on about page, 40, something like that. But it's an interesting book, and nice departure for me. Also in print, I am reading The Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder. Now, I started this on audio when I was away last week on vacation, and, well, not on vacation, but I didn't get very far into it, and the narrator didn't really grab me. And that combined with the story, it just was like, this is going to move way too slow for me on audio. So I've switched over to print, and I'm obviously just barely into it. I think I'm on page 30 or something. So the story is interesting, and I think it's going to be a good book, but I don't want to listen to it. I may change my mind about that later, but yeah. So I've picked this up, and I'm dipping in and out of it. I'm also dipping in and out of The Virgin Suicides, so yeah. And if I get through, when I get through Never Fade, then I also want to pick up Altered. I think I'm just going to flip through the end of this in print because I need to refresh my memory. This is by Gennifer Albin. It's part of the Crewel World series. And this particular book is book 2 in the series. Book 3 is Unraveled, and it is out. I have it on audio, but I want to refresh my memory because it's a complicated story, and it's sort of like a fantasy / dystopian, and it has like an alternate timeline for World War II. It's got a lot of science and a lot of crazy things happening, and I'm not sure that I have tracked well enough with this book and the ending of this book to be ready for the third. So I'm probably gonna, pick this up and kind of flip through and just catch up, refresh my memory. And then I'm also reading Requiem on my iPad by Jamie McGuire. It is the second book in her Providence series. Providence was the very first book she wrote, and this is the series. It's the second book in the series, Requiem. And so, I picked it up and kind of, it's like, oh, what can I get my hands on right now that I can read? Are you one of those people that reads like the back of the cereal boxes and like the back of the shampoo bottle, the back of the, dishwasher detergent box? It's like anything I can get my hands on to read. I do. So anyway, that's my weekend. What are you reading this weekend? I would love to know. So leave me a comment and tell me, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching and have a good weekend.
When I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my walk. You're gonna miss me by my talk. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.